Do you struggle when it comes to building your self-confidence or seeing yourself in a more positive light? This is a lot more common than you think. You know, a lot of people actually have trouble looking in the mirror for too long of a period of time. And this is definitely stemming from a self-confidence issue. So if this is something that you're dealing with, I would love for you to stay tuned because I have something special for you. Hi YouTube, my name is Jalen and I am an aspiring yoga teacher. I've been on my yoga journey for the past 2.5 years now, and along with my journey has come a lot of self-love and self-care and confidence building. And this is something I'm going to be talking about today, something that is near and dear to my heart because it's a practice that I practice every single day that allows me to show up in the world as my best self. And this practice is called mirror work. So mirror work is actually a self-loving exercise. So I love mirror work as a self-care practice because number one, it's free. You just look in a mirror that you have at home. Number two, it's actually one of the most powerful and effective methods when it comes to healing and loving yourself. And I want to add that when I first started practicing mirror work, it was very confronting and it was a lot tougher than I ever paid attention to in my life. So when I first started practicing mirror work, I was in a pretty dark space in my life and I didn't realize how much I had been avoiding mirrors. It's something that's not very much talked about, but I'm sure with me having this conversation and bringing it up that there's going to be a lot of people that can resonate. So it was very awkward up front, and it was just kind of weird being with myself and like getting to know myself in such a way. But to date, this is one of the most powerful techniques and methods in my journey, and I still do it every single day. So this method has been around for ages, but it was actually coined and developed by Louise Hay in the 80s. And she is an inspirational teacher and a law of attraction enthusiast as well. So the purpose of mirror work is to actually get to know yourself on a deeper level. Just staring into your own eyes in the mirror can actually bring up unhealed situations or unhealed feelings and thoughts that can be worked out in that moment. So how it works is you want to actually sit in the mirror for about 10-15 minutes a day, and you want to look yourself in the eyes, of course, and you want to speak to yourself loving and compassionate affirmations and thoughts. You want to be very gentle with yourself here. You know, throughout the most of the times in our days, we're coming down on ourselves. We're not the nicest to ourselves when it comes to our self-talk in our minds. So in our self-care practices, we must develop that safe space for us to be gentle with ourselves. I love to say that, you know, the way that we speak to ourselves in our mind, we would never, ever, ever speak to a toddler that way. So, you know, when you're developing yourself, when you're growing as an individual, when you're adding new skills to your psychological and your emotional repertoire, you need to be very gentle with the way that you approach and talk to yourself. So when you begin to do this and develop this within yourself, you will notice how your interactions with other people change throughout your days. With you being more compassionate, understanding, and forgiving to yourself, you're going to actually exude that into others. You're going to be a lot more welcoming. You're going to be a lot more pleasant. And you're also going to feel lots of healing. You're not going to have so many psychological blockages that we deal with on a daily basis. And that is really the root of low self-esteem. So I actually want to read a quote by Louis Hay. So when you first start doing mirror work, it is extremely confronting and just totally uncomfortable. Even just trying right now to go and look in the mirror and stare into your own eyes for 5 minutes is confronting for some reason. I don't know why. But I can give some context. The mirror reflects back to you the feelings that you have about yourself. It makes you immediately aware of where you are resisting and where you are open and flowing. It clearly shows you what thoughts you need, what thoughts you will need to change if you want to have a joyous, fulfilling life. So, not very often that we actually sit with ourselves and ask ourselves these kind of questions or give ourselves enough time to let our emotions flow through us and center ourselves again. So that is exactly why I created this channel, because I want to make the conversation of self-care popular, because we're in a society where we're always doing, but we don't give ourselves time to just be and to have some realizations and to sit in our experiences and let them unlock themselves in our minds so that we can extract everything that we need from our circumstances. So the reason why most of us stay in particular circumstances is because we live there. We allow ourselves to live there. And we don't allow ourselves the proper emotional, mental, psychological release to let that stagnant energy out of ourselves and to build a new and better reality that we are wanting to see. I hope that makes sense. So the most important lesson that mirror work can teach us is that the most important relationship that you are going to have in this life is going to be with yourself. So, confronting yourself face to face in the mirror is a great way to actually get to know yourself. Oh my God, there's a bee. And like my husband likes to say, knowing yourself is one of the most dangerous things that we can do in this life. Also, when you begin to know yourself on a deeper scale, your likes, your dislikes, your imperfections, your abilities, then it allows you to be better for the people and the surroundings that you find yourself in. So, most often people who are confused about themselves, they don't know themselves, are the ones who cause the most trouble. So it's important that we actually cultivate these kind of practices to really get to know who we are. Also, another thing, the second most important lesson that I said comes from mirror work is that you begin to realize that you are so much more than what you see. Your physical appearance is only your outermost layer, but there's so much more depth to you. There's so much more significance and importance to you that you bring to the table versus these looks. So it's a little bit paradoxical because, looking in the mirror can seem very self-centered and pretentious, but this practice is healing a lot more beneath the surface than we can possibly fathom. So what I want to do, I'm not going to actually do a mirror work exercise right now with you guys today, although I do think that I'll go ahead and do that on my channel in the future. But what I am going to do is drop the link below to a couple of blog posts or a blog post that can share with you step by step how you can actually practice mirror work in your own life. It's gonna make such a huge difference in your life. And I'm also going to include mirror work by Louis Hay in the link in bio, so that you can really test this practice out yourself. If you want to learn more about this phenomena, if this really resonated with you, or if you feel that this is a new psychological and self-help tool that you can use, then definitely grab that book, the Mirror Work book by Louis Hay. I'm going to put it in my link below. It's actually sold more than 40 million copies worldwide, and that makes my heart smile, because to know that so many people are interested in bettering themselves and getting closer to themselves, and in turn exuding and spreading that beautiful self-loving energy into the world, it makes my heart so happy. So if you have enjoyed this video, if you've gotten any value, I would love for you to like, comment, and subscribe, and to let me know how mirror work is helping you in your life, or how you're going to implement these practices in your life. Namaste, beautiful souls.